Okay, so we're going to create a new project here and then a new composition. We're going to be using the shape tool here in After Effects. So I'm just going to name mine shapes. I'm going to leave the size and frame rate of 24. Make sure that the preset is HD 1920 by 1080. If you want to change the background color, you can. Again, doesn't matter because it doesn't usually export. So I'm just going to leave mine white. Full resolution and duration, we can leave it 10 seconds for now. We can always come back and change that if needed. And press OK. Okay. So what we're going to be doing is, here you can see the shape tool. If you hold down and click, you have rectangle, rounded rectangle, ellipse, polygon, and star. We're going to be using either the polygon tool or the star tool, okay? So let me just show you these real quickly. I'll show you each one. So let's say I'm going to choose the polygon. I have a red fill, no stroke. Okay, so I'm drawing this. And I can get my selection tool if I want to move that. Okay, now over here we have shape layer, contents polystar. So we'll bring this down. And if you wanted to, you can mess with any of these here, of course, to do that. And then we have the transform controls here. So I'm going to go ahead and put this up. This is just mainly like the color. So we have anchor point, position, scale, rotation, opacity, all that jazz. First, I'm going to go ahead and just put a keyframe here on position, scale, rotation, and opacity. Okay, so basically all of them but the anchor point. We're not going to really worry about that. There is somewhere here we can change the points. Okay, right here. So we want to open up this contents polystar 1 polystar path. So right now we are at polygon and we have 6 points. I'm going to change that. So I want to start off with the least amount of points. So I'm going to do 3 and I'm going to create a keyframe for that one. The other ones we don't really have to worry about. We'll worry about them down here. I know it's a lot of different things that we're going to be changing, but it's going to get you more familiar with doing all this. So you can decide how far over you want to go. I guess I'll go to every one of these. And then we're going to increase the points now to 4. And then we want to just move it. You want to make sure that you're moving things that have keyframes. Because if you don't, then you'll need to go back and add a keyframe on that first one. And then you can come change it, okay? So maybe I want to scale this. Maybe I want it to be bigger. Maybe I want to rotate. So then this is kind of like when we did the shape tween and animate. So now it's going from triangle to square. Now I'm going to go over to 1 second. Let me see first how fast that plays. Okay. What happened to my screen? Okay. I'm going to go over to 1 right here. Oh, another thing I want to do, sorry, go back to your first frame. There is where we have the fill color. We are going to create a keyframe here for color. And then go to 12. Change the color to anything else, okay? I'm just going to go in rainbow order. It's easy to remember. Okay, so now I'm at 1. First, I can go ahead and change my color. I'm going to go change my points to 5. And then I can come change the position. I'm not sure what that is, but scale, maybe I'm going to make it smaller. Rotate, you definitely want to rotate a little bit so it definitely moves. Okay, so I'm going to go back. Okay, so now I'm on the next one. I can change my color. I'm going to go up here, change the points. Okay, so now I'm going to go back down here. First I'm going to rotate, and then I'm going to move it. Rotate, move, scale. Go back. Okay, so now I'm here at 2. I'm going to change it to 7. Color blue. Okay, so now I'm here. The only thing is about once it starts getting a lot more sides, it's kind of hard to differentiate. So I think I'm going to stop here at 8. So after you've done at least, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. Okay, what I'd like you to do next is come over to this next one. Okay, so I'm going to minimize this. Okay, so I'm going to click off. Then, can I create new? How do I create a new one? New shape layer. Okay, so I created a new shape layer. Now I'll draw my star. So it's on a new one. So what we're going to do is come down to this other one, which is our shape layer 1, and we're going to come down to the opacity where you should have inserted a keyframe, and we're going to turn it off here so that way it goes away as our star appears. Okay, so one thing I want to check now, back with my selection tool, is if this, so right now this star is just staying there. We don't want the star all the way up here. So I'm going to come here to 3. I'm done messing with the shape layer 1. I'm going to come down to the transforms, also open this one so I can see the fill. Well, there we go. So I'm going to make one for the color, make one for, I could do opacity here, I guess. And we'll do position, scale, rotation. Okay. So for this one, I'm just going to go ahead and change the color because I had purple, so now I'm going to do pink. So I have that. I'm going to go back to 1, and then I'm going to turn off the opacity of the star. I don't want to see the star. Okay, so now here I go, and now you can see that the star is slowly coming back. So we need to go to right before 3, right here, and turn that opacity back down to 0. That way from here to here, it stays at 0, and then it turns on right here. But then look, so here, look at these shapes. They're starting to fade out. So what we will need to do there is one. Okay, so let's look at this one here. We got to look back. I'm going to collapse this one and look at this shape layer. So we need to go, so we have it here where we don't want to see it anymore, right? So right before here, where it says opacity at 3%, because this is 1 frame, make sure that you are just 1 frame before this one, 1%. We're going to change that to 100. That way it goes from 100 to 0, and it's not constantly getting close to there. So we'll watch this again. And then it goes to the star, right? Okay, so now we're just going to be working on the star. So we can collapse shape 2 and bring out shape layer 1 and bring out shape layer 2. So we have it at 3. We're going to move up here. You can change your color to whatever. Okay. I'm going to change my position. And I need to find my, right here, polystar path. So I did that. I need to go back to 3 and set a keyframe here on the points. So right now I have 5 points on my star. I'm going to come back to 3.12. I'm going to change it to 6 points for there. Okay. Then I'm going to go to, make sure that changes. Okay. And maybe I'll rotate it a little. Okay. So I have there, from there. And then now on 4, I'm going to do something a little different. So I'm going to go ahead and change the color. And I'm going to come here to points. I'm going to leave it at 6 points, but this time I'm going to insert a keyframe here on the outer roundness. I think that's the one. And I'm going to start increasing it. You can see how it kind of turns into like a flower shape. Okay, and let's check that. So I don't know. So that did that for all of them. So I need to go back, undo that. Okay, so I'm going to go back to 3 where we started it and select that keyframe there to outer roundness. It stays, it stays. Now at 4, it changes. So I'm going to increase that here again. Okay. Then we're going to move up to, hold on, did it move? No. So I want it to move also while it's doing that. Let's change the position. Scale, maybe it's going to get bigger. Maybe it's going to rotate. Okay. And then here, I'm going to go ahead and add another point. So now it's going to have 7. And it's up to you. I'll let you decide if you want to keep it round or you want to move it back to a star. Or you can make it rounder, okay? Up to you how you want to change that, and then just make sure you move it somewhere else. Okay, so let me see what I got so far. Okay, so far we have done a star transformation at 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go ahead and do just one more. So we'll end here at 5. Okay, so now I'm here at 5. I'm going to go ahead and increase that. And I'm going to make it back into maybe a star. Or I can even do this. Look, it goes backwards. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to change the color. Move it. Scale it. Rotate it. Okay, so I think I'm good with that. Okay, so then we want our animation. We don't want to stop right here because that's where it ends. We want to stop maybe at 512. So we can go to composition settings, and we'll change that. I mean, you know what? I'm just going to change it to 6. And okay. And let's see. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So once you have those, then you can render this and turn it in. So there. Okay. So now I will go to File, Export, add to Adobe Media Encoder. And of course, give that a minute to load up. Okay, I'm going to click here, see where it's saving. Save, ready, push play. It'll render down here. Okay, it's done. You can click on it, make sure that it plays okay before you turn it in.